It was nice to have a token working class person, but I don't think she was acting in a way that actually benefited that community.
We wouldn't get away with it, so why should she? Good riddance.
Mr Starmer, we just need him to go now.
The Boris Johnsons do not represent the majority of people. People have got more in common with people like Angela Rayner.
Do you think you'll ever vote for Labour again?
No, never.
Angela Rayner has resigned today.
Oh, did she? I didn't realise.
She has resigned now, yeah, after everything. What are your thoughts?
It's difficult. I like her, but then, rules are rules, and you've got to set an example to people, and we're all struggling. I've paid stamp duty on my flat. It was a pain in the arse, but I had to do it.
Well, we wouldn't get away with it, so why should she? She absolutely hammers us with tax. Yeah. And it's just, good riddance.
If you get caught doing something you shouldn't be doing, then you shouldn't be in the position of power that she's in. So good that she's quit, but I don't see how it's really going to help the rest of the country out at the moment, because it's not very good anyway, government running it.
Well, I think it should be the same rule for everybody, really. If you're going to charge people tax, then you should pay the tax yourself. Or don't have any tax for everybody. You can't be one way or another. One rule for somebody and one rule for us. They represent us apparently, so
they can do what they want and we can't. They absolutely hammer us with tax, and they sit there. They're paid absolute bloody thousands to do to run our country into the ground, because that's exactly what they're doing.
We need politicians to set examples. We need them to represent us, and especially after the last 14 years where the politicians had absolute disregard for people. We expect better from Labour, and I think it's honourable to resign for that. I just thought she had so much potential, represented people and Deputy Prime Minister, and I just thought she could have gone all the way, but it's hard. I feel sorry for her.
I think it was definitely coming. People obviously weren't happy. It's not a great precedent to set, and I think in the current climate we've got with the reform policies regarding the stamp tax, it's not looking great for Labour, especially with the rise of the new Your Party. She's sort of doing herself a disservice, just sort of adding to all the negative Labour policies and the reputation. But I think it's probably, as soon as the news came out that she hadn't paid it, I think it was sort of an inevitable resignation.
But I think the political class is finished. I don't think we should have politicians anymore. I think we should run our own country, because these people are clearly, doing dodgy things behind our backs while pretending to be serving us at the same time. When really, ever since 2020, this has become quite obvious that isn't the case.
We're both taxpayers. She can't dodge it. She's up there for a reason. She's got to lead by example. Oh, we need a nice other one to go, don't we? Mr Starmer, we just need him to go now. I voted for Labour.
I voted for
Labour on one thing. They promised me one thing and they've lied to me, so I now call them Labour. Because
what did they lie to you about?
They said they were going to stop the boats.
These MPs that are supposed to be people that guide us, not kind of following or setting an example, is kind of a bit of a kick in the teeth and a spit in the face of everyone that kind of is trying to get by, really.
She must have had some news about her to have got the job. So I do think, had she just owned up instead of making the decision she made even worse, it's not the right thing for a Deputy Prime Minister.
There'll be more to come out. Somebody else will dodge the system, won't they? And now she's been caught. But she should do. She should pay what I pay, what everybody else pays. It's not right for her to dodge it.
If you're the Deputy PM and you're avoiding paying tax and supporting the country that you're supposedly serving, I think that's it's not on.
Obviously, where she's come from in terms of she didn't have a privately educated background, she did come from a council estate. How big of a loss is it to lose a working class northern voice in the government?
Yeah, I think it's a huge loss, because I think politicians are to represent us. The Boris Johnsons do not represent the majority of people. I think people have got more in common with people like Angela Rayner. But at the end of the day, she's still got a future and she'll still have a job and she's respected by people. I think she'll get more respect for taking that decision.
She doesn't represent me. I don't vote Labour anymore.
If we're going to have this system like you say, then of course, more people from working class backgrounds should have the opportunity to do that, because they're going to understand what's going on in the street, or in a low income area. They're going to understand what it feels like to struggle. For your parents to be working all the hours that come and go, and you still can't pay the bills, you still can't survive, you've got to go to food banks and all the rest of it. I very much doubt if Angela Rayner goes to a food bank, so and you've got people who work for the NHS going for food banks. I mean, how is that even right?
As a working class person myself and having grown up in that environment, a lot of the things she was doing in Parliament, it was probably beneficial for her to have that sort of label as a representative label, but I think the policies that she was helping to enact probably didn't represent that identity anyway. So it was nice to have a token working class person, but I don't think she was acting in a way that actually benefited that community.
It would be a loss, but then a lot of people, you know, come from that sort of background, and when they get to a position like hers, it can sort of corrupt them a little bit in a way. So I think, you know, losing her might not be as big of an issue as for, you know, the issue for the importance of representation of working class people that it might seem.
If someone like me had got in there, then, you know, that's good for the working class, because they come up with that background like we have, you know, council estate, had to work hard to where we got, didn't have money to start off with, but now that she had the money, she was, you know, silly with it and, you know, thought she could get away with stuff. So, which I don't, you know, me, if I had that sort of money, I would play by the rules and pay what I've got to pay.
We want somebody that's going to stand up for us and not tell lies, tell the truth as we all see it, not just them. You know, little white lies don't cut it in Parliament. We want people to tell us the truth and look after the young, the old and the workers.
I think we need to be more careful about the way that we phrase representation in Parliament. Instead of just throwing around these labels, I think we do need people who understand the policies that they're putting into place. I think with the rise of populism and things like that, it is dangerous just to rely on like a certain characteristic to gain votes.
You should get more people like us in government and power, because they understand what we go through every day, and they don't, because, you know, they've got all the monies and all that education and they're not putting it to good use.
Who now is the voice of the left in the Labour Party?
I'm not sure there is one. I'm not sure there is a voice of the left wing in the Labour Party anymore, especially with all the things Keir Starmer's been saying about his love of the Union Jack and just his sort of ignorance over the flag situation that we're seeing at the moment. I'm not sure that anyone's really playing their part.
I'm really disappointed in Labour, to be honest with you. When they cut the winter fuel allowance, I thought, right, what are they going to do to the billionaires? You know, if that's what they're doing to the pensioners, the billionaires are going to get a kick in, and they haven't. And there's a huge, disparity in wealth in this country, and it needs to be sorted out because it's just ridiculous. People are working their asses off and getting absolutely nowhere. You know, I'm on a good wage and I'm having to cut back on a lot of, you know, I've not had a holiday this year because, you know, things are getting so expensive. So, you know, if it's tough for me, it's going to be tough for a lot of people.
I just think they're more out for themselves. This party has not really done anything for... There's nobody that in England at the moment that can say, well, yeah, well, they've not looked after those, but they've looked after us. There's nobody. The people with the children are grumbling, the people who are going in hospital are grumbling, the people who are working are grumbling, and we're grumbling.
I think they're sort of they're trying to appeal to the wrong audience in a lot of ways, so I'm not sure that they're going to even come back to the centre in the mainstream view at the moment.
Do you think you'll ever vote for Labour again?
No, never. I might not ever vote again.